Hi, Joe Cerrone. Welcome to CAD 230 Introduction to Solidworks and our weekly Zoom classroom meeting. This week we'll be covering Module 3. Module 3 covers revolve and mirror functions. The chapter that maps to this exercise is Chapter 5. The assignments are to complete Lab 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D. There's a bonus lab worth 3 points, extra credit. It's not required. That would be Lab 3E. If we take a look at the calendar, lab number 2 is due on the 7th of February. And so that would be next week at 12:30 or 11:59 p.m. And then lab number 3, we typically give you guys 2 weeks to get the labs done. And so lab 3 will be due on the 14th of February. You can always turn it earlier if you have a Valentine's thing to do. If we take a look at content, and then we take a look at Module 3, we have the same information that we put in the splash page, plus the videos and the locations of the quizzes. And so here's Lab 3A, Lab 3B, 3C, 3D, and 3E. Take the multiple choice quiz and then take the volume quiz and calculate the volume for the Lab 3A, B, C, and D. Here's the textbook. If you haven't picked it up yet, we do have an old version of it that you can work from, but please be sure to pick up the textbook. And then here is the sketch for basic solid modeling and the model exercise for the bonus exercise. Alrighty, so if we take a look at those files are located right here on my screen. And we take a look at our first exercise. The first exercise is to create this part right here. If we take the Wayback Bar and take a look at it, it seems to be uncooperative. There we go. And so as we take a look at this first sketch that we created, we basically created this sketch. The origin's located right here. We try to fully define the parts when possible. If you can't fully define it, let's say that this part is not fully defined, and so it's underdefined at this point. What you can do is you can right mouse click and you can say fully define the sketch, and then you can calculate it by that entity, and SolidWorks will come up and say, oh, you need this radius on here. And we can green check mark that, and now our sketch is fully defined. You can see I have to rebuild my model, so I'm going to say rebuild, and then I can go through and I can take a look at the next feature. And again, it seems like it's kind of getting a little wonky on me here, but essentially what we do is we create this sketch for this part right here. We double click on that, we can see how that sketch looks. And basically we extruded this mid-plane and then we mirrored it. And then once we mirrored, we add the fillets. And then we save that file and turn that into the Dropbox or to the assignments folder. So that's part 3A, 3B, located right here. Very similar part. We just use a derived sketch to create this one. Part 3C is this pulley. And we revolve that about this axis right here. And then 3D is our screwdriver exercise. And we added some text to it with this extrude cut right here. If we look at that text, basically what you do is you draw a construction line or a center line, and then you can select the text tool and select that line, and then you can edit that. And so if we were to take a look at that extrude cut, basically what we did was we cut that text in to that information. Alrighty. So work on these exercises. Make sure that you take care of the quizzes for volume and multiple choice test. And I will post this video and put it on the main splash page. So that's it for this week. Work on Module 3. Module 2 is due next week at 11:59, and I'll see you online next week. That ends this video meeting.